A lot of businesses go into tendering without understanding the process, without any sort of preparation, and without having the right strategy for tendering. And this is a huge mistake because that will result in failed tenders, non-compliant submissions, and unsuccessful tenders that you would have wasted your time on without having any sort of compliance checks or any measures in place in order to start tendering properly. And because it is such a legally compliant process, it is so complex and it can be quite overwhelming, you do need to understand it first before you dive head first into it. You also need to prepare for it so that you know what documentation you need, what compliance checks you need to do, what due diligence you need to do, how to submit your tenders, how to make sure they're compliant, and then you need to develop a strategy for your business to make sure that your strategy for tendering is going to be tailored to your business and it's going to bring you maximum contract wins. This is exactly what my online course covers. It goes into understanding how tendering works, what it means, the step-by-step process, understanding the documents, navigating the portals, how to submit tenders, what to look out for, what kind of compliance checks you need to do, and also helps you develop a strategy that is tailored for your business based on your size, what you do, and to make sure that you develop a strategy for your own business that is designed for maximum success and contract wins. So in this short video, I'm going to go through the online course, show you the modules, the lessons, what it looks like, what it covers, just so you have a better understanding of the actual benefits this can deliver for your business. And if you're not tendering as a business, then you're missing out. There's lots and lots of contracts out there, and it's a great opportunity for business growth, for developing your business, for raising your reputation, increasing obviously profits with contract wins. So let's dive in and I'll show you what the actual course looks like all online. Okay, so this is the main page that you see, and it goes into all the sort of details of the course. It is literally just an overview of what the course covers, so you can have a look through that if you wish. The courses that I currently offer are Phase 1, which is understanding, preparing and strategizing for tendering, and Phase 2, which is currently in development, which is all about writing tenders. So I'm going to be covering Phase 1 today, and I'm going to sign in to my account. And this is the page that you see when you sign in. You scroll down, you can see the courses that you enrolled into. So I do offer a free course which you can sign up for free. There's no obligation, you just sign up to it, you create an account, and you're able to access that for free instantly. So this gives you a good taster of what I actually do, how I work, and what tendering means. It's just a basic introduction, short course that you can check out for free if you wish. So this is the paid course, and it covers the step-by-step process of tendering, how and where to find tenders, the tender documents in order of importance, how to develop a winning bidding strategy, how to prepare for tendering, and how to navigate portals. So you also get a breakdown of the modules. So this course covers 6 modules. So the first module is just a general introduction into the course, and a little bit about me, and a couple of FYIs just before you start learning about tendering. Module 2 covers understanding tendering. So we go into what tendering actually means, the tender process step by step, the restricted versus open procedure, where to get your tenders. You also have some links to where to find tenders. You have a task where you define your keywords. So most of these lessons are actually in video format, which I'll show you in a minute, and you also get a few assignments, tasks. There's an end of test your knowledge module quiz at the end of every module, just so you can test your knowledge. And at the end of the final module, you get like a general end of the course quiz test to test your knowledge. So this is a complete sort of learn at your own pace kind of course, so you can log in and out of it whenever you want to, and start learning just whenever suits you, really. I know business can be busy, having a life is busy, so you can just log into it whenever you want to and do one lesson at a time, one module at a time, whatever suits. At the end of each module, you also get a key point summary, which is a PDF document, and it gives you just a general summary of all the main information covered in each module. So with module 3, this is all about sort of the different documents. So we cover SQs, ITTs, frameworks, DPS, the quality versus price split, a little bit about accreditations, the scoring criteria. You also have a task on how to prepare to tender. I cover bits about policies, the importance of evidence in your tenders, how to submit your tenders, the importance of clarifications, and again you've got your test your knowledge quiz and a summary. Module 4 is all about designing a strategy for your business, and because you don't want to go into it blindly. When you go into tendering blindly, not knowing the process, not having the strategy, just selecting all the tenders and all the bids that you think are suitable without even reading the documents is a bad strategy. So this module covers all the right steps you need to take in order to develop a strategy for your business, but also what it looks like to select tenders. So there's a couple of strategy sort of lessons here. So what a bid no bid process should look like. I cover incumbent tenders, so if you're reapplying for a tender that you've already won, what you have to do to obviously re-win that tender. There's also a tendering as a new business lesson, which I know many of you, many businesses out there are new to tendering, but well, they're new startups is what I mean. So as a startup, I know it's a lot harder to get into tendering, but it is possible. So this is what that lesson covers. So there's also a lesson on strategy tips for new businesses. So if you're a new business, if you're a startup and you're looking to start tendering, this is going to be the most important lesson. These two are going to be quite crucial. I also cover things like competitor research, developing your approach to writing. There's a competitor research task which you will have to complete, and that's module 4. So quite a few lessons which I think are really important if you want to maximize your contract wins, and if you want to obviously ensure that your bids are compliant, that you're selecting the right opportunities, and that you're not bidding blindly. So module 5 is all about tender portals. I get a lot of messages from clients saying, I don't understand these portals, I don't know where to get the documents, I don't know how to submit them, they're really complex, why do they make it so difficult? So this module covers the 4 main tender portals in the UK. So you've got ProContract, Delta, Proactis and Intend. So these 4 portals are covered in that. So in each of these lessons, I'll give you an introduction into each of the portals, raising clarifications on each portal, how to submit your tenders, and completing all online tenders, because sometimes instead of having documents to fill out, you will have an online questionnaire which you will have to fill out on the actual portal, and these can be quite complex, so I've covered a lesson on that as well. Module 6 is all about those tender documents, which are complex, they can be overwhelming, there's a lot of them, they can be quite lengthy, so it's like, where do you start? And this module covers exactly that. It tells you all about the tender pack analysis, so we go through each tender, each document in the tender that you typically get, and I go through the importance of these documents, what to look out for, what they mean, and how to read them to make sure that you you pay attention to the right information, the right sections. I also cover things like tender completion instructions. You also get a tender instructions template. You actually get a lot of templates with this course, so there's quite a few sort of worksheets templates that you can use in your tendering process. That you get to save and keep forever. So the tender documents that I cover is things like the specification, the ITT, the instructions document, the quality response document, and the pricing document. So the pricing document actually has its own lesson. You need a little bit more guidance on pricing, and you've got a separate lesson for that. But all of the sort of main documents within the tender pack will be in lesson 6.1. So it's quite a lengthy lesson. Again, this is on video format. And then at the end of the course, there's an exam, you get a certificate, and there's a couple of bits about the next course, offers, evaluation, and feedback. So what I'll do now is I'll go into the course and I will show you what the course player actually looks like. So you've got the breakdown of lessons here, and you've got all the lessons here. So there's just me talking. This is just a thank you, and there's things like ebooks in here. So you've got learning objectives, what you need. Let me show you maybe bit basics. So for example, this lesson covers selection questionnaires, so I actually go through an SQ in detail, so you can kind of see what the document looks like, what to look out for, and how to fill it out as well. So then you've got a task, which is all about identifying gaps, so that's one for you to complete. You've got some downloads here, some PDFs, files that are handy for you to keep. So most of the lessons are me talking, but they are sort of, I do demos and screen recordings of the documents. But to break it down a little bit, you also have these sort of graphic, visual, sort of more cartoony type videos as well. And these have a person talking over them, a narrator, so all you get to do is just sit back and watch these. Yeah, I think it gives you a good sort of a good variety of different lesson formats. It keeps you engaged, it keeps you interacted, and it's not just you sitting down and watching all these. You do have tasks to complete, and I encourage you throughout each lesson to sort of apply the knowledge into your business. So I try and keep it as relevant as possible by providing real life examples, just the best practice tips, strategies, techniques I've seen work over the years. I've been doing this for 8 years now, since 2017, and there is a lot to it, but over the years I have learned to sort of narrow it down to the basic points of what is actually important to a business, what's actually needed for you to start tendering successfully, how to complete these documents, what to pay attention to, which documents are more important than others. It is a complex and overwhelming process, and again, this is another reason why I've broken it down into 2 courses. So phase 1 is all about preparing, understanding and strategizing your approach. Phase 2 is all about writing your tenders. Writing is a big part of tendering, but without understanding the process, without having the right strategy, and without preparing your business for tendering, you're setting yourself up for failure, because you're increasing your chances of making mistakes, getting things wrong, and then before you know it, you spend 2 or 3 years tendering for 50 or 60 contracts, only winning 2 or 3 of them, and that means you'd have wasted so much time preparing these documents, because they are time consuming. They take a lot of time. You have to read through the documents, prepare the submission, fill it out compliantly, look out for clarifications, manage your business alongside doing the tender. So you do need to understand the process and do it successfully by knowing what to do, how to do it properly, and to make sure that it works for you, that it works for your business and your goals, your strategies, your objectives for business growth. The course gives you an absolute step-by-step from A to Z of what you need to do when you're going into tendering. I explain everything from the very basics to the more advanced level. I cover things like what the specification means, why tendering even exists in the first place, why do you have to tender for contracts, why does it exist? So all of that is covered in this course, and there is no other course out there that will tell you from step 1 to 10 of how to go into tendering, what you need to start with, what you need to look out for, how to prepare for it, what you need to do, what you need to look out for, and how to actually do it. How do you do tendering? It is such a complex and overwhelming process. I'll show you now. You also get these visual sort of graphic diagrams that will help you understand and dissect the process a little bit easier. For those visual learners out there, I think you're going to like these. Yeah, another key point here with this course, when you get a file, you will see this paperclip here on the side, and the file is actually located here. So all you have to do is click on that, and then there's your PDF. So this one is a nice visual diagram, which I will show you now. Okay, so this one gives you the breakdown of private sector tenders and public sector tenders. So it gives you the process of how tendering actually works and what it means. So with some of the lessons you do get these visual diagrams, which I think helps break down the process a little bit more. And again, it gives you that variety of not just having lessons and watching my face, it gives you files that you can refer to and worksheets that you can fill out, templates that you can use in your own tenders. Yeah, you get a great variety of different file formats, different lesson formats with this course. I hope this video clarifies any ambiguities around the course. I hope it shows you how much value it can bring to your business. Seriously, if you're not tendering, you're missing out and you need to start doing it now. So the course covers it all from A to Z, like I said. If you're in the UK, great, you're going to love the course because it's, I'm from the UK, so I focus on the UK tender process. However, if you are from overseas, I do have a lesson which covers international tenders, including links to where to find tenders if you're in America, Australia, New Zealand, Canada. So go and check it out, and if you're still not sure, you're welcome to try out my free course and go from there. Hopefully I'll see you there.